my pretty Purrely.
It's finally a post-Syac deck that hopefully doesn't get impacted in any way by an upcoming maybe ban list. It's Purrely! Shout out to Eevee fans.
As someone who loves Pokemon and Eevee, this deck was an Eevee choice to pick because this is the Yu-Gi-Oh rendition of Eeveelutions.
Yep, plump pretty Purrely.
They're foxes, not cats.
What does a fox say? With all that being said, we're really excited to get this deck profile, so make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video, and let us know some more post-Syac decks that you'd like to see us put up. We are a little tentative right now because there could be a ban list sometime soon, so I know branded every other deck is going up. Just let us know what you want to see first in the comment section down below. With all that being said, team, let's
catch them all. So obviously for the monsters, we are on triple copies of regular Purrely, and then triple copies of the brand new Purrely. Now as we go throughout this deck profile, you're going to realize that a lot of these cards are not once per turn. The only one is Purrely. Each of these monsters both have two effects. On summon, they will search cards, and then they also have ignition effects which allow them to Xyz summon. A normal or special summon, Purrely will excavate the top 3 cards of your deck and add any Purrely spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Regular Purrely, aka Eevee, is not once per turn. And then Purrely on normal or special summon will add any Purrely spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, but it cannot be a quick play. So this can grab your trap card, it can grab your field spell if you play it, or it can grab your continuous spell. And then both of their ignition effects allow you to Xyz summon using themselves and spell cards. Purrely reveals one Purrely quick play spell card in your hand, and then special summons an Xyz monster from your extra deck that mentions that card using Purrely and the spell card as the Xyz material. Purrely Lily does the same exact thing, except for revealing one in your hand, you target a card in your graveyard instead. So this allows you to Xyz summon with spells in your hand. This allows you to Xyz summon with spells in your grave.
And we'll explain that a little bit deeper once we get to the extra deck and you can actually see the coinciding extra deck monsters. It's punny and adorable.
They are fairy monsters, so keep that in mind when we move on to the extra deck. We're playing triple copies of My Friend Purrely.
It's so cute. Look at the little friend, a little menace to society.
You heard of pay 8, feel great? This is pay 5, feel alive.
High five the sky. Yeah, Zexel.
That was a perfect high five. My friend says you can pay 500 life points, reveal 3 Purrely cards from your deck, and then your opponent randomly selects one and adds it to your hand. The remainder gets shuffled back into your deck. This is the main pivotal piece in the deck because this can search any of your Purrely monsters and grab any of your Purrely spell cards. You can reveal cards of the same name, so you're guaranteed to get any piece that you don't have or that you would need. This card is literally just Lilith, the continuous spell card.
I was literally just gonna say, it's My Friend Purrlylith. Aw, that's so fun. Why did they do that? Aw, just had her like demonic shadow in the background.
And if this card wasn't broken enough, if any of your Purrely Xyz monsters leave the field, you get to target 3 Purrely quick play spell cards with different names in your graveyard and add them to your hand.
Disgusting.
This is actually ridiculous because even if your monster is destroyed by battle, if it's like compulsed, if it's shuffled back, if it's anything, any removal, you get to add back 3 quick play spell cards from your graveyard.
You thought Sky Striker was annoying. Welcome to this adorable nuisance.
A ferocious terror. We're maxing out on all the quick plays, so we are playing triple copies of Purrely Pretty Memory, triple copies of Purrely Sleepy Memory, triple copies of Purrely Happy Memory, and then triple copies of our Purrely Delicious Memory.
This is my favorite card in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I hate that it's a rare, but it is so goddamn cute. Yeah, really quick, I know, look at this card. Look at how freaking cute. He's got a little like mango smoothie kind of juice. He's got guac like a true Giga Chad. Little souffle pancakes and a salad to just, you know, gotta have some greens somewhere. This is I just like, come on. Happiness is with food. I just...
actually, happiness is...
all right, okay, well, all right. No, I mean, you know what I meant? I meant life. I meant life. It was a metaphor, team. Oh, my God. Okay, well, anyway, Delicious is the cutest card ever put in the game, and no one can argue with me on this. Anyway...
So let's talk about these cards because they have multiple effects. Now this deck does search a lot, so it's really important to know that there are 6 cards that allow you to play in the draw phase, so you can play around things like Valor and Droll, and then there's 6 cards that require you to have cards on the board in order to activate. The easiest way to remember these is that the highest and the lowest rarities, aka the ultras and the commons, are the draw phase ones, and then all the rares are the cards that require you to have something else on board.
Ah. That's fun.
As I said before, these 6 up here allow you to activate in the draw phase, and then these 6 over here require you to have a monster on board. It's gonna drive me nuts.
Yeah, like Brian is having an aneurysm looking at these cards. Oh my God.
Pretty Memory says that each player gains 1,000 life points, and then you can apply one of the effects. Sleepy Memory says that the next damage that you take, battle, or effect becomes 0 for the rest of the turn. Happy Memory chooses a card on the field, and the first time it would be destroyed by card effect, it's not, and then Delicious is the same thing, except it's battle instead of card effect. Good note that they all choose at resolution. They do not target either. And once they all resolve, you can apply an additional effect.
The main point of all these cards is that they all share an effect where they let you get a Purrely monster from the deck. So it can be Purrely, it can be Purrely, It's a Purrely monster. Get your Eevees. So on top of all of the jargon we just dumped on you, they also have additional effects that apply to the Xyz monster that they are attached to. They're like Zodiac monsters.
So if an Xyz monster has pretty memory underneath it, you could send one other card you control to the graveyard, and then you can target one card your opponent controls and then attach it to that Xyz monster. Sleepy Memory allows you to draw cards during your opponent's standby phase if it's underneath an Xyz monster. Happy Memory allows you to attack monsters a number of times each battle phase up to the number of Happy Memories attached to that Xyz monster +1. And then Delicious Memory gives that Xyz monster 300 attack and defense for each material attached to it. And just like our good old friend Purrely, none of these cards are once per turn either. You can activate them as many times as you would like.
It is actually disgusting. I mean, delicious. I know that felt like a lot of info dumping we just put on you, but we will do a combo section at the end and show you how these cards actually work.
And with that being said, there's one more card you need to know about.
It's the most powerful, adorable card in the deck. Yeep. Yeep.
Wow, great job.
Yeep. Yeep.
Purrely Yeep says you could target one Purrely Xyz monster you control and then special summon a Purrely Xyz monster with a different rank on top of that monster. This card is absolutely ridiculous because it allows you to rank up from a rank 2 into your rank 7. And then as we said, all the quick play spell cards are not once per turn or once per copy. So if you have a rank 2 monster that draws 3 cards, you can then make a rank 7 monster and then draw 3 additional cards on top of it. Literally on top, get it? And 99% of the time, this card is used to rank up. But keep in mind that you can also just rank down. So if you have like your Noir that you've gotten a bunch of materials off of and you want to go into something like a Beauty for a negate, you can do that. This card is very versatile.
Yeep.
This card also has a very good effect in the graveyard because you can banish this and then recycle 3 of your Purrely monsters into the deck also.
The deck just does everything, and it does it so adorably. And then moving on to what half of everyone's decks are going to look like for the next format.
We're playing triple copies of Ghost Ogre, triple copies of Ash Blossom,
Forehead, not feet.
triple copies of Droll and Lockbird,
Rock'em sock'em.
and then triple copies of Infinite Impermanence.
Yo, I hate Droll this format. I think it's going to be whack. I'm going to say something super controversial quick. I think we should just bring Colossus to 1 if we get a ban list. I know it's not going to happen. Let me cope. But if we're all going to be playing Droll, just let me play a deck that summons 1 singular Droll. I hate this.
Speaking of cards that people hate, we are on double copies of Triple Tactics Talent.
God, this looks like so much fun for a format.
Now you may notice that we are not playing a discard engine like the Shaddolls or the Dark World cards. Realistically, the more that we tested those cards, as good as they were, the Dark World cards didn't really chain block anything, so you were kind of just getting interrupted on your Purrely stuff regardless. And then all the Shaddol cards, when you draw them, it doesn't feel that great. You really need to draw certain pieces. So instead, we are playing triple copies of Gamma and then the 1 copy of Driver. This actually is a very good discard engine because you can discard these if they're not live in your hand. Driver's really good in the graveyard if you have Gamma.
Because you will open him.
And it is a card that really does just punish your opponent if they try to interact with your My Friend Purrely, or if they try to ash any of your quick play spells in the draw phase. It is a really good tool, and we got some softs in the extra deck.
This next format just feels like a really twisted game of like, what deck am I playing? I bet you can't tell because half the deck is just hand traps. Also, for this version of the deck, as Brian was mentioning with all the engines, we wanted to focus on the pure version right now because the deck still is so new. I'm sure when we get the newer cards in Duelist Nexus, there's going to be more innovating with the deck, and if there are newer versions of the deck, we will 100% update it and provide those. But right now, we just want to focus on the heart and soul of these sweet little Eevee babies.
So make sure you subscribe and come back for that.
And for Eevee.
And then moving off into the extra deck, we have the 1 copy of our Codebreaker Virus Swordsman. This is just 2 generic monsters. If you like talents, you can take something, link it off, so you can actually get rid of it. And it's the biggest link to beat over Baguska in the Super Heavy Samurai matchup.
Oh my god, it's huge. It's 2,300.
He's gaining on you.
Shia LaBeouf.
We are playing our 1 copy of Protector of the Agent Moon. This is just 2 fairy monsters. This is just your out to like big floodgates.
Well, yeah, that would be great.
We are playing the 1 copy of Excel Synchro and then the 1 copy of Baron. If your opponent does happen to interact with you, you can Gamma, special this summons back Gamma, and then bam, you make Baron.
That's disgusting. I've said that like 7 times this profile, but it seems fitting.
Now, as we move into the Purrely Xyz monsters, they're kind of like the spell cards in the fact they all have multiple effects.
Of course.
We have the 1 copy of our E-Purrely Happiness and then the 1 copy of our E-Purrely Beauty. Happiness is basically our OTK button because at the end of the damage step, if this card battled, you can add a Purrely card from your deck to your hand, and then if it has Purrely Happy Memory underneath it, it's Happiness, Happy Memory, obviously you're always going to have that, you can have the attack of 1 monster your opponent controls. This is not once per turn, so once again, if you do have your quick play spells underneath that allows you to attack multiple times, you can search multiple cards. Beauty is just a quick effect if it does have Pretty Memory underneath it. It's just basically imperm. We are playing double copies of our E-Purrely Plum.
Absolutely, we sure are.
I love this little fellow.
Oh, my little tree baby.
Now, one of the effects that they they all have in common is that when you activate a quick play spell card up to thrice per turn, you can attach that quick play to the Purrely Eeveelutions monster.
That is so silly.
Plump says once per turn, you can target up to 2 spells and trap cards in the graveyard, yours or your opponent's, and then attach them to this card as material. This is a quick effect if you have Delicious Memory underneath it.
Which you will, because that's what you need to summon it.
Because he's plump.
Because he's hungry.
Now, I'm sure you've probably figured it out by now, but as we talked about with the original Purrely monsters, you have to Xyz summon with the monsters that require the spell card. So Plump, when you eat, you're delicious.
Delicious memory.
Bam. Pretty is beauty, obviously, kind of self-explanatory there. And then happy memory is happiness.
I just think it's so funny that those two are like obvious, but then like, you know, you've got delicious memory and then it's Plump.
I love Plump.
I love Plump.
Plump's such a good guy.
Plump is my little friend. Leafeon's my favorite Eeveelution next to Umbreon, so I guess it makes sense because Plump just kind of looks like Leafeon. Just say it and tell me don't smile. Plump. Such a fun word. It's like bubble.
And then the big boss daddy in the deck, we're playing double copies of Umbreon, I mean Noir.
Noir
says that you can Xyz summon this on top of a rank 2 monster that has 5 or more materials, and then transfer those materials. And then if this card has 5 or more materials, it's unaffected by all of your opponent's activated effects.
So it's a towers, essentially.
And if that wasn't enough, if it has a level 1 Purrely monster underneath it as material, it is a quick effect to detach 2 materials and then target a card in your opponent's graveyard or one that they control, place it on the bottom of the deck. That is also not once per turn.
Yeah, so good luck doing literally anything and having it resolve, because this is just gonna yeet it. It's gonna yeep it back to the bottom of the deck.
And then for our generic rank 1s, we're playing the 1 copy of our Ensemble Robin.
Yeah, because we need more compulses.
Which are once per turn. 1 copy of our Assembled Nightingale. Obviously, the 1 copy of Downard and the double copies of Zeus.
Ah, yes. My favorite package.
It really is unfortunate that we still feel like we have to play something like double Zeus because of Kashtira. Hopefully we get a ban list soon. This could be something like Relinquished Anima. It could be something like additional copy of Beauty or anything else you feel like is necessary in the extra deck.
And that's the deck, but don't worry, combo, I choose you. All right, welcome to the combo tutorial section, team. We do this for every single deck profile on the channel because we want to give you a realistic showing of what any 5-card hand can do and the ceiling that it holds. So with that being said, Brian is going to shuffle on up, we're going to cut on up, and we are going to show you how all these convoluted, non-once per turns, ranking up, XC summoning to the moon, making it towers, how the Purrely deck really evolves.
So with that being said, we're gonna, I'm gonna drop cards like I always do. We're gonna do a few more of these bad boys, and then we will get into...
Imagine us not being a hot mess. Couldn't be me.
Every time, literally. Okay, we're gonna start off with 1 copy of Happy Memory, 1 copy of Happy Memory, another copy of Triple Tactics Talents, 1 copy of our Purrely Lily, and then 1 copy of our Sleepy Memory. Okay, we're gonna go draw phase here because we did open one of our draw phase spells. Remember, it's the common. We have 2 rares here, but we're gonna activate our copy of Sleepy Memory. This is going to pitch our copy of Happy Memory and then summon a copy of Purrely from the deck. All right, and now on summon, you wanna cut opponent?
Yeah, I suppose I should. Here you go.
Our Purrely's gonna activate. We're gonna excavate the top 3 cards and then add any Purrely spell or trap card. Ooh, we got Delicious and we got Yeep.
Nice.
I think we're gonna grab the Yeep here because obviously our Purrely Lily can grab our Continuous, we can then just grab Delicious. So we're gonna put these on the bottom of the deck now. We'll move to standby, we'll go to main, and now we can normal summon out our copy of Purrely Lily. We can activate Lily's effect. This is gonna grab our copy of My Friend Purrely.
Always grab a buddy.
Activate My Friend Purrely, and now we can activate the effect, pay 5. We're gonna reveal Delicious, Delicious, Delicious. Wow, it's crazy. It's almost like we're gonna grab a Delicious from our deck to our hand.
It's a whole feast.
Now at this point, I think it's pretty safe to say that because we've resolved our Continuous spell card, that we're not really worried about that many hand traps, so the Talents becomes a little bit less useful in our hand. So now we can activate our copy of Delicious Memory. We will pitch our copy of Talents. Here you can choose any card that you'd like so that it won't be able to be destroyed. This is gonna summon another copy of our Purrely. Now we're gonna activate the Purrely's effect. We'll ask our opponent to cut.
Because it's not once per turn and we just keep going.
We're gonna excavate 1, that's a droll. 2, that's an imperm. 3, that's a Delicious. We'll take a Delicious
Yummy.
Memory.
Tasty, tasty.
Resco on the bottom. Now we can activate our Purrely Lily. We're going to target our copy of Delicious Memory. This is going to allow us to Xyz summon here into our good old friend Plump.
Oh, Plump.
Plump is then going to activate. We can quick effect because we do have our copy of Delicious. We're going to attach 2 spells underneath it. We're going to attach the Sleepy and a copy of Happy Memory. So here we have multiple options. We can activate either of our quick play spells to try to get to the Purrely monster to get to additional cards, or we can just activate them and put more materials under our Plump. I think it's probably worthwhile to go and extend even further just because you want to have as much interruption as possible. So we're going to activate our Delicious again. Now we can chain the Plump to put the Delicious underneath it. Remember, that's up to thrice per turn. We'll pitch our copy of Happy. Here we are going to summon our copy of regular Purrely. We're going to ask our opponent to cut here, and hopefully we'll hit our copy of Pretty Memory.
God willing.
All right, there's 3 in the deck. We should be able to hit one. There's an Ash. There's our copy of Delicious. Oh my God.
Thank Christ. Oh my God.
Amazing. We did it. We hit the copy of Pretty. Now what we're going to do is we're going to activate the Purrely effect. We're going to reveal the Pretty. We're going to Xyz summon with our copy of Pretty and Purrely. We're going to make our Pretty Purrely Beauty.
A pretty baby.
Now what we can do is we can take double copies of Purrely over here as well. This will make our copy of Ensemble Robin. We can set 1 card. We have 2 cards in our graveyard. We are going to pass our turn. Now what we're going to do is our opponent's draw phase. We're going to activate Plump as it is a quick effect to attach 2 spells. Kind of crazy here. So we have a what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spells or 7 materials underneath our copy of Plump. We're going to go to the standby. We do have 1 copy of our Sleepy Memory, so we can activate Plump to draw 1 card. This is gonna, wow, we really wish we had this card. Now we're gonna activate our copy of Purrely Yeep. This is gonna allow us to Xyz summon on top of our Plump with our copy of Noir. And remember what we said before, our Purrely quick play spell cards are not once per turn. So now that Noir is a different monster, it's gonna apply that effect again and give us an additional card. We're gonna see another copy here of our Purrely Pretty Memory. So what we have here is Ensemble, which is going to compulse 2 monsters. We have Beauty, which is a negate, and then we have Noir with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 materials underneath it. So you have at least 1 guaranteed shuffle back when it is still unaffected by all of your opponent's activated cards and effects. It also has, if we do a little bit of digging here, we've got 1 Delicious, 2 Delicious, so it is gaining 600 attack and defense for each material.
Yeah, so 8 materials, 600, 8 times 6 is 48.
Plus 28, it's big. This thing's massive.
It's huge.
This thing is actually massive.
Its butt is thick with 40 C's.
Shout out to Umbreon.
Bumbreon, because its bum is huge.
More like...
And that's the deck. Boy, oh boy, Towers Turbo certainly has evolved, hasn't it? But we're really excited about this deck and what it can do in upcoming formats. God willing, we get a ban list very, very soon. This deck is going to be extremely powerful, so don't sleep on it. It's pretty
delicious.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this deck. I'm gonna stop talking. All my Eevee fans, thank you so much for watching this video. We love you. You matter. We will see all you Eevees in these videos over here. Bye.